This video will discuss MGSE7 SP7, develop a probability model and use it to find probabilities of events. Compare experimental and theoretical probabilities of events. If the probabilities are not close, explain possible sources of the discrepancy. In 7th grade, students develop probability models and find the probability of events. They also compare theoretical and experimental probability. This serves as the foundation for the probability standards addressed in high school, where students describe events as subsets of a sample space using characteristics of the outcome, understand when and determine if two events are independent, and use rules of probability to compute probability. A probability model provides a probability for each possible non-overlapping outcome for a chance process. The set of all outcomes is called the sample space, and their probabilities sum to one whole. Games are a great way for students to use probability models to find the probability of events. They are also a natural introduction to experimental probability. In What Are My Chances from NCTM's Illuminations, students first predict the most likely event of uniform and non-uniform models, which is followed by a 10-trial experiment for each model. Listen to how the students begin to informally compare the theoretical probability to the experimental probability. Which one did you think was going to be the most?
Spades.
Spades, okay.
Yes. Yes. This what we got, really. Skip one.
Oh, so we were right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We were equally likely as well.
Nice. Before beginning this experiment, these students predicted spades would be the most likely selected suit of the four suits. Did you notice how the student concluded that the experimental probability of selecting spades was equally likely as not? The collection of all possible individual outcomes is known as the sample space for the model. A sample space becomes a probability model when a probability for each event is specified. Students should have opportunities to create their own examples of uniform and non-uniform probabilities for simple events. As seen in this clip, students created models and also developed their own questions for the models.
I have to find out.
Yeah, so remember when we talked about the fraction where the denominator is the total number of outcomes? How many outcomes are there?
4.
4. And then how many of those outcomes are they wanting?
1.
So what's the probability?
1 over 4.
Yes.
In the long run, a task from Grade 7 Illustrative Mathematics Open Resources aids in facilitating a discussion about how the probabilities of a model can either be theoretical, based on the structure of the process and its outcomes, or experimental, based on an observed data generated by the process. Students have determined the theoretical probability of May winning the game is 1/3. As they complete the 10 trials, they will use their cumulative wins to compute the experimental probability. Once computed, students will compare the experimental and theoretical probability. More times than not, students will conclude the more roles performed, the closer their experimental probability is to 1/3. What Are My Chances from Grade 7, Unit 5, Georgia Department of Education Mathematics Frameworks offers templates students can use to develop their probability models. Students should be able to create a probability model to demonstrate uniform probability, which is equal opportunity of occurring, and non-uniform probability. Based on the fact that each probability model has a probability sum of 1 when all outcomes are combined, students should be able to use fractions, decimals, and percentages in their models. The activity sticky bars is a great way to formatively assess students' understanding of a concept. In this clip, the teacher has assigned this question from Illustrative Mathematics Open Resources. The teacher strategically selected multiple choice answers for this question, which includes the answer for the probability of fiction books out of 10 checkouts, the probability of nonfiction books out of 10 checkouts, the ratio of fiction to nonfiction books, and the whole number 4. 3 answer choices reveals a different misconception, while 1 is the correct answer. Students record the letter of the answer they feel is correct and places it on the board. From this formative assessment, the teacher has a quick check of what misconceptions should be addressed whole group, in small group, or with individuals. For more information on how to establish classroom routines to support tasks such as the ones seen in this video and implementing formative assessments, visit the course overview for 7th grade on GeorgiaStandards.Org.